My dear one, the reason your heart is beating faster right now is not by accident. Heaven is whispering your name, and Archangel Michael has stepped forward with an urgency that cannot be ignored. He says, your miracle has arrived. Your angel is holding your hand firmly right now, refusing to let you walk away empty, because this very message is carrying the weight of your destiny. Do not treat this as coincidence. Do not scroll past what heaven has placed directly before you. The divine clock is ticking, and every second you remain here with these words is opening a portal that has been locked for years. Congratulations, my beloved. I need you to let those words land before we go any further. Not as a greeting, as a declaration from the courts of heaven over your life. Heaven has signed something in your favor today. Not in a general, vague sense, specifically, with your name written on it at this exact moment, in the exact season where you have been waiting the longest. Heaven has moved, and what has been moved cannot be undone. You have been carrying something that very few people around you fully understand. You have cried prayers that never made it past your lips. Prayers pressed into silence in the early hours of the morning, when no one else was awake, and the weight of what you were carrying felt like it was going to crush you. You have asked God to see you in moments when no one else did. You have held hope in trembling hands when everything around you gave you every reason to let it go. And heaven heard every single word of it. Every tear you cried in silence became a seed. Every prayer you whispered thinking no one heard was recorded in the scrolls of heaven. And now the harvest has come. This is the reason your eyes landed on these words today, not yesterday, not last week, today. Because this exact hour has been marked in the calendar of heaven as your hour of visitation. Archangel Michael himself is standing with the scroll of your answered prayers, and what is written on it bears your name. He says you have been knocking on doors that stayed closed for what felt like far too long. But those locks are dissolving right now, and every door they were attached to is about to swing wide open. My child, do not rush through what you are holding. Stay until the very last word. Every paragraph is a step on the staircase to your miracle. Every sentence is a key, and the more keys you gather as you remain, the more sealed places in your life will open. If you stay, the chain of blessing draws you straight into the center of what heaven has prepared. I am asking you not to let go before you continue. Go to the comments and type this: I receive this miracle. Write it as a declaration, not as a hope or a wish, but as the agreement of a soul that has been waiting long enough and has finally heard the announcement they were waiting for. Write it and let heaven record your yes. Subscribe right now and turn on notifications. Michael says that staying connected to this channel means staying aligned with the flow of what God is releasing. This is not just a message. It is a covenant between heaven and you. And the miracles that follow will not be interrupted if you remain connected. Subscribe now before you read another word. Before I go deeper into what Michael revealed, I want to speak to you plainly for a moment. This channel and this ministry exist for one purpose: to reach the person who has been holding on by a thread and who needs to hear from heaven before they let go. Every message prepared here is prayed over and carried with a genuine burden for the soul receiving it. This work is sustained entirely by the direct support of people who received something real through it and chose to give back. If something in these opening words already stirred a recognition in you, if your heart did something when you read that your miracle has arrived, please support this mission through the Ko-fi link in the pinned comment below. You are not donating to a channel. You are planting into a space that heaven is using to find his chosen ones at their most pivotal moments. The link is pinned. Give from wherever your heart says yes. Now let me take you into the courtroom of heaven and show you what was decided about your life. My beloved child, I need to tell you something that Michael revealed that will change the way you understand everything you have been through. The battle that almost broke you has officially ended in heaven's courtroom. The verdict has been signed. It has been sealed, and it was signed in your favor. Every delay that made you cry, Every disappointment that shattered your hope at its most fragile point. Every betrayal that drained your trust in people you had chosen to love. They were not the end of your story. Michael says they were not even setbacks. They were the setup for this divine announcement. Heaven was never losing your case. Heaven was building it. Think about what you have carried. The financial stress that followed you into sleep and met you again when you woke up. The silent worries that you never spoke aloud because you did not want to burden anyone around you. The uncertainty about what comes next that sat like a stone on your chest. You asked for peace, and you kept asking even when the answer seemed slow. But Michael says the answer was not slow. The answer was precise. It was being assembled with a care that your timeline could not have measured. Your tears became seeds. Every time you cried in secret, in your room, in your car, with your face pressed into something quiet, so that no one else would hear. You were not falling apart. You were planting. Heaven stores those tears in a way that human language does not have full words for. Every prayer you whispered thinking no one heard was recorded in a scroll that Michael is holding right now. And what is written on that scroll is not a list of your failures or your doubts. It is a record of your endurance. Every time you chose to hold on when letting go would have been easier. Every time you maintained your integrity when compromising, it would have given you faster results. Every time you forgave when bitterness was available, and you refused to pick it up. All of it recorded, honored. And now the harvest has come. The delay you experienced was not denial. Say that to yourself right now. The delay was not denial. It was preparation. If you had received this miracle earlier, it would have overwhelmed you. Not because you were not worthy of it, but because the vessel that needs to carry what is coming had not yet been fully formed. Michael says you are stronger than you know, wiser than you believe, and more prepared than you think. The very storms that tried to destroy you built something in your spirit that cannot be removed. Something that will carry the blessing that is about to pour down without collapsing under its weight. The pain you walked through was not punishment. It was pruning. Every dark moment was shaping you for the miracle that has now arrived. Every loss that felt like burial was actually preparation for a bloom that is about to come suddenly and completely. The seed that was buried in your suffering is breaking through the surface right now. The shift will be swift, and those who once doubted you will have no choice but to recognize the hand of God upon your life. Go to the comments right now and write this: "It is finished, and I receive." Write it out fully. Let it be the declaration of someone who just heard the verdict from heaven's courtroom and is choosing to stand in the truth of it. Beloved child, Archangel Michael says you have been hidden for a reason, and I need you to hear this part carefully, because it answers a question that has sat in the back of your spirit for a long time. You have asked why no one recognized your worth when you knew what you were capable of. You have wondered why doors closed in your face when you could see clearly that you were qualified. You have stood in rooms where people looked through you as though you carried nothing, and you walked away from those rooms wondering what was wrong with you. Heaven says nothing was wrong with you. The answer is something entirely different from what the rejection told you. Diamonds are never revealed until they are fully shaped, until the rough edges are removed, until the pressure has done its complete work, until every facet that was always present, but hidden beneath the surface has been brought out by the process. You were not being overlooked. You were being formed. And the forming takes time that the world around you could not see and could not appreciate, because the world measures by what is visible. Heaven measures by what is being built. You are not buried. You are being refined. And now the refining has come to an end. Michael says the covering is lifting. The season of hiddenness is closing. And what comes next is not the slow, quiet emergence of someone timidly stepping into light. It is the revelation of someone who has been fully shaped by a process that most people could not have survived. When diamonds are brought out of the ground and placed in light, there is no questioning their value. There is no debate about what they are. The cut and the clarity speak for themselves. That is what is about to happen with your life. The enemy tried to hide your light under rejection. He tried to bury you under the weight of opinions that were spoken without authority and agreements that were made without heaven's approval. But Michael says that God took every act of rejection and turned it into redirection. Every door that closed sent you somewhere else. Every person who walked away created space for someone better. Every opportunity that dissolved made room for an assignment that was more aligned with what you were actually built for. The places that never seemed meant for you in human eyes, heaven has already overruled. You are walking into inheritance. The doors that once closed in your face are about to open wide, and you will step into spaces that will surprise even the people who told you that you did not belong there. The enemy recognized what you carry before you did. That is why they fought so hard. They sensed your breakthrough was near, and they panicked. That is why they spoke against you. That is why they withdrew their support at moments when you needed it. That is why some relationships ended in ways that felt cruel and inexplicable. But they did not realize that their actions only pushed you closer to God, only prepared you for this exact hour. What they meant for harm has become the fuel for your miracle. Subscribe right now if you have not yet subscribed. Michael says that remaining connected to what heaven is releasing through this channel is part of staying in alignment with what is about to unfold. Every message that comes through this space carries something specific for the season you are walking into. Do not lose the thread. Subscribe and stay close. I want to pause here because what comes next in this message is the part that most people in a long season of waiting need the most. It is the part where Michael speaks directly to the warfare that has been surrounding you and tells you what he has done about it on your behalf. It is the part about his sword of fire, about the chains that are breaking right now as you read, and about the new faces and new doors that are already being positioned in your path. This channel exists because heaven uses voices to reach the people it has designated. And reaching those people consistently, with messages this specific and this sustained, requires resources. If this ministry has been one of the voices heaven used to keep you going during a hard season, please support it through the Ko-fi link in the pinned comment below. Your support is what keeps this voice alive for the next chosen one who finds it at their most desperate moment. The link is pinned. Give from wherever your heart says yes. Now let me show you what Michael has already done around your life. My beloved, do you feel the heaviness lifting off your chest as you read these words? That is not imagination. That is not the effect of listening to something hopeful. That is real. That is Archangel Michael's wings surrounding you right now, removing burdens that were chained to your shoulders for far too long. Heaven says you thought you had to carry it alone. And heaven says no more, because as you have been reading, Michael has been working. He drew a sword of fire around your life, a sword that cuts through the cords of heaviness, the chains of despair, the invisible threads that connected you to fear and failure, and the voices that told you this was all you were ever going to have. Those cords are being severed as you remain here. Every word you read is another act of the angel's assignment being completed. And the reason he urged you not to skip this message is precisely because the act of staying is what allows him to finish what he was sent to do. You will notice in the coming days that the things which once drained you will no longer affect you with the same power. The sadness that kept returning will find no place to stay. The anxiety that woke you up in the night and put a heaviness on your chest before you even remembered what you were anxious about will lose its grip. The situations that once sent you spiraling will begin to pass through you with far less turbulence. Not because your circumstances have all changed overnight, because something fundamental has shifted in the spiritual atmosphere around your life. Chains are breaking, walls are falling. Strongholds that were built over years of agreement with the wrong voices are collapsing. And you, my beloved, are walking out free. Michael reveals that even when you thought you were completely alone, you were surrounded. Many times danger tried to approach your life and was blocked before it ever reached you. Many times harmful words were spoken against you and the angels cancelled them before they could land. Many times battles rose against you in the unseen world, and you won those battles without ever knowing you were in them. This is why you are still standing after everything you have been through. Heaven has been preserving you, not as a passive act of keeping you alive, as an active, deliberate, purposeful protection of a life that carries a destiny too significant to be cut short. You were not spared by chance. You were spared because what you are carrying is still needed. What you are built to do is still waiting to be done. What you are destined to become is still in the process of being revealed. And now that process has reached its completion, and Michael has declared war on everything that tried to hold you back from this moment. As this freedom spreads through your life, you will also begin to notice changes in the people around you. The individuals who once drained your energy, who took from you without giving back, who were connected to your old season in ways that could not survive the transition into your new one, they will begin to fade. Not through drama or conflict, through the natural process of a season ending. And in their place, new faces will appear, faces carrying favor. People who recognize what you carry and honor it instead of exploit it. Connections that are built on something real, rather than something convenient. These are not random arrivals. They are heaven's provision. They are part of the miracle that is unfolding in layers all around your life. The flow has been released, and no human hand can block what God has declared. My dear one, the scales of justice in the spiritual realm have shifted. Let me tell you what that means for your visible, physical, daily life. The kindness you showed when no one thanked you. The sacrifices you made when no one noticed them. The times you chose love over revenge, when you had every justification to choose otherwise. The prayers you prayed for other people when your own situation was desperate. The moments when you gave what you had, even when you did not have enough. All of it has been remembered. Heaven stores what the world ignores, and now the reward has come. Michael says the enemy celebrated too soon. They thought your story was finished. They thought they had buried you. They made announcements among themselves about your defeat. They arranged themselves as though your chapter was closed. But what they did not know, what heaven kept hidden from their understanding, is that they only planted a seed. They thought they were digging a grave. They were digging a garden. And what is about to bloom from everything they planted in your suffering will leave them unable to speak. What they meant for harm has been turned for good. That is not poetic language. That is a living decree. Every act of betrayal that pushed you toward God became a step in the direction of your miracle. Every closed door that sent you back to prayer was a door that was never meant for you and that God was sparing you from. Every person who walked away cleared a space that heaven needed empty for what is coming. The enemy's attacks were, in every case, working against the enemy's own purposes. They were accelerating your preparation while believing they were preventing your breakthrough. And now, heaven is making the announcement. Your enemies will not have to be confronted by you. They will not have to be addressed by your words. They will have to watch your elevation. Your success will speak for you. Your breakthrough will answer for you. Your miracle will silence every lie that was spoken against your name. And when it does, you will not gloat. You will not return to them with proof of what they missed. You will simply be living the life that heaven always had written for you. And the visibility of that life will be its own testimony. The prayers you whispered that you thought were lost, Michael says those were never lost. Heaven stored them. And today they are being poured back out over your life. Not just answered in the narrow form in which they were asked, but expanded. Because heaven heard not just the specific words of your prayers, but the need beneath them. The peace you were asking for when you asked for financial relief. The safety you were reaching for when you asked for restored relationships. The wholeness you were seeking when you asked for healing. All of those deeper things are being addressed. All of those root needs are being met. The miracle is not just coming to the surface of your life. It is coming to the foundation, beloved. You are still here. You have stayed through the verdict, through the revelation about your hiddenness, through Michael's sword of fire, through the evidence of what heaven has been building. The fact that you stayed through all of that tells me something important about who you are. You are not someone who is consuming content. You are someone who is receiving a word, and that distinction matters to heaven. This channel was built for the person who stays, the person who reads to the end when something inside them says this is real, the person who does not skip the parts that cost something to sit with. Keeping this ministry alive requires sustained resources and sustained commitment. If this work has ever reached you at a moment when nothing else could, if it has been the voice that confirmed what you already knew in your spirit but needed to hear spoken out loud, please support it through the Ko-fi link in the pinned comment below. Your support sustains a voice that exists to find chosen ones in their most pivotal seasons. The link is pinned. Give from the place in you that just received something. Now let me tell you about the divine reversal that is already in motion. Michael says you are stepping into a divine reversal, and I need you to understand what that means, because it is more complete than you might expect. The pain you carried, the specific, deep, personal pain that only you know the full weight of, will turn into joy. Not the shallow joy of things going slightly better for a while. The kind of joy that comes when something that hurt you for a long time finally heals completely. The kind of joy that surprises even you because you had forgotten it was possible to feel that free. That joy is on its way to you. Not eventually. In layers that will begin to arrive in ways you will recognize within days. The losses you suffered will return multiplied. What was taken from you through betrayal, through circumstances that were outside your control, through seasons that stripped away things you had worked hard to build. Heaven is not replacing those things one for one. Heaven is multiplying the return because the God who commands this reversal is not interested in simply restoring you to where you were before. He is moving you to where you were always supposed to be, and where you were always supposed to be is further ahead than where you were when the loss began. The financial drought that once made you anxious, that made you calculate every purchase and lie awake doing math that never added up the way you needed it to, will break open with unexpected provision. Not as a slow improvement in your existing situation, though that will come. As sudden, unexpected, divinely orchestrated financial movement that arrives from directions you were not watching. Michael says expect the unexpected. Expect the call you did not think would come. Expect the door you never imagined would open. Expect the opportunity that arrives from someone you would not have thought to contact, and that carries the answer to a question you have been asking for years. The sickness that threatened your body, that settled into places medicine struggled to address, will be overturned by healing that surprises even the people who were supposed to understand it. Michael says heaven is not limited by what natural means can accomplish, and the same power that parted the sea, that raised the dead, that fed thousands with what looked like nothing. That power is being directed specifically toward the areas of your life that have felt the most impossible. Receive this. Do not minimize it. Do not assume it is too great. It is exactly what the God who loves you is capable of doing, and He has decided to do it for you. And in the coming days, you will begin to see signs. Unexpected calls, unusual moments that feel orchestrated, sudden opportunities that appear without any logical trail connecting them to you. A sudden peace that comes when circumstances have not yet fully changed. A lightness in your spirit that was not there before. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. Heaven's way of saying, yes, child, your miracle has arrived. But I need to tell you something deeper about this miracle. It is not only about you. This miracle is about generations. What is being released over your life will touch your family in ways that extend beyond what you can currently see. The cycles that troubled the generations before you, the patterns that seem to repeat themselves in your family line, the things that were handed down from person to person, and that you always hoped would stop somewhere before they reached the people who come after you. Michael says you are the stopping point. You are the one through whom those cycles break. When your breakthrough appears, others will find hope. When your testimony unfolds, others who are still in the early stages of their own waiting season will be restored. When your miracle shines, People who had almost given up on the goodness of God will see that heaven is real. You were chosen not just to receive. You were chosen to become a light for others, still walking through what you have already come through. Beloved, prepare your spirit for acceleration, because what Michael is announcing is not a slow trickle of improvement. He says what once took years will now happen in days. The blessing will not move slowly. It will come quickly. The change will not trickle. It will pour. The breakthrough will not crawl. It will run. You will look back in amazement at how fast everything shifted. The delays that troubled you will melt away in a season that replaces them with a speed of movement that will leave you needing to simply hold on and trust. The stagnation that held you back, that made you feel like you were pushing against something invisible, no matter how hard you tried, will disappear. And you will understand as it disappears that what felt like stagnation was actually the tension of something about to be launched. It was a bow being drawn back. And now the bow has released. Do not fear the speed. Michael says your spirit has been prepared for this moment. What you built in the season of waiting is exactly what you will need to carry what is coming. The patience you were forced to develop will become wisdom in the season of abundance. The discernment you sharpened through the hard seasons will protect what you receive. The humility you maintained through the long wait will keep what is coming from overwhelming you. You are ready. More ready than you know. Michael says rejoice. The days you thought were lost are being restored, and you will accomplish in one season what others cannot accomplish in a lifetime. That is not an exaggeration. That is the specific acceleration that heaven releases when a chosen one comes out of a season of preparation and steps into their appointed time. Time behaves differently in a kairos moment. Things converge that would ordinarily take years to converge. Doors open in clusters rather than one at a time. Resources appear in unexpected combinations. The right people arrive at the right moments. And you, who have spent so long feeling like everything required twice the effort for half the results, will begin to experience the opposite. Child of destiny, Michael whispers that your miracle will come in layers. It will not touch only one part of your life. It will move through every area simultaneously, though you may notice it in different areas at different moments. Relationships will be restored. The connections that frayed under the pressure of your hard seasons will begin to show signs of life again. Not all of them. Some were genuinely completed, but the ones that were meant to continue will resurface with a new quality that the pressure refined. Finances will increase, not as a reward for your poverty, but as the natural result of alignment. When your life aligns with your assignment, and your assignment aligns with what heaven has prepared, provision follows as a matter of course. It is not magic, it is order. The God who created systems also honors them. And when you step into the position you were designed for, the provision that belongs to that position comes with it. Health will strengthen. Joy will return in places where it has been absent for so long, you may have started to wonder if you were capable of feeling it. Peace will remain, not as a temporary reprieve from difficulty, but as a settled, anchored state that no longer depends entirely on your circumstances being perfect, because you will have seen, through what is unfolding, that heaven is trustworthy. And a person who has seen heaven's trustworthiness demonstrated does not lose their peace the same way a person who is still waiting for the first proof can. Each layer of this miracle will build upon the next, creating a foundation so strong that nothing can shake it. Do not limit your expectation to a single blessing. Do not confine God to one answer. He is not coming with one gift. He is coming with abundance. Your life is about to overflow, and that overflow will reach everyone connected to you. People near you will be blessed simply because of their proximity to what heaven has released over your life. This is how powerful your miracle will be. It will not stop with you. It will spread, and the world around you will not remain the same after it does. My beloved, you are almost at the close of this message, and I want to pause here one final time, because what you are about to receive in the next few minutes is the part that seals everything. It is the final decree, the last word that Michael has carried, the announcement that closes the case that heaven opened on your behalf. But before those final words, I want to ask you one more time to support this mission. If you have ever found in this space a voice that said what no other voice could reach you to say, if these messages have been the confirmation that kept your faith alive during a season when visible evidence was scarce, please visit the Ko-fi link in the pinned comment below. What you plant at the end of a message like this, at the threshold of a declaration, becomes a seed sown in the most fertile spiritual ground possible. The link is pinned. Give from the place in you that is about to step through a door. Now let me bring you into the final decree. My beloved Archangel Michael says you are stepping into a season of answers. And this is the part of the miracle that will surprise you in a different way than the provision and the healing and the doors opening. Because questions that have lived in you for a long time are going to receive answers. And sometimes answers are more healing than anything else. Long-standing questions will finally be resolved. Mysteries that confused you will suddenly become clear, in ways that require no forcing, no searching, no intense effort to understand. Understanding will simply arrive, like light coming through a window that was not open before. Painful experiences that you could not make sense of. Losses and betrayals and closures that felt random and cruel will reveal their meaning. Not to justify the pain, but to let you see what the pain was building toward. You will see why certain people left, why certain doors closed, why certain prayers were answered in the form of a no instead of the yes you were asking for. And when you see it, you will stand in something that resembles awe. Nothing was wasted, not even your tears. Not even the time that felt like it was slipping through your fingers without producing anything real. Not even the relationships that ended. Not even the opportunities that dissolved. The God who is orchestrating this reversal does not waste what he allows into the life of someone he has claimed. And you are claimed. You have always been claimed. You will realize that the waiting was not denial. It was alignment. The specific positioning of the specific person you needed to become before the specific thing heaven prepared for. You could be received without destroying what was good in you. The timing that frustrated you was actually protecting you from receiving something before you were ready to steward it well. And now the timing has arrived. Michael says, understand this clearly. You did not survive this season without purpose. You survived because there is something still waiting to be lived, something powerful, something sacred, something only you can carry. That is why the enemy fought you so fiercely. And today, the war has ended. The victory belongs to you. Now hear the final decree. I speak peace over your mind, not the peace of distraction or of problems being temporarily absent. The peace that comes from having received a word from heaven that has settled something inside you that was restless for years. I speak clarity over your decisions. The confusion that made choosing feel impossible, the fog that settled over your sense of direction, will not survive what has been released over you today. I speak strength over your spirit, not the strength of someone who has figured out how to endure, the strength of someone who has received confirmation that the endurance was worth it. May doors open without striving. May provision come without strain. May favor rest upon you in ways that leave no room for doubt about who arranged it. May the people who need to find you find you. May the resources that belong to your assignment locate you. May the connections that heaven has prepared arrive on time, with clarity, and in the form that serves your purpose rather than distracts from it. Here is what I need from you before you leave this space, like this message right now. Not as a reflexive response to content you consumed, like it as a spiritual act of agreement, as your declaration to heaven that you received what was spoken here, that you are standing in the truth of the verdict, and that you are choosing to walk forward in faith rather than retreat in fear. Let that agreement be your first act of obedience in this new season. Subscribe right now if you have not yet subscribed, and turn on notifications. Michael says that staying connected to what heaven is releasing through this channel is not a casual choice in this season. The messages that are coming next in this series carries specific instructions for specific phases of the breakthrough that has just been released over your life. You do not want to miss what comes next because you did not stay connected to the voice carrying it. Subscribe, stay, come back. Share this message with someone who is still in the middle of their waiting season. Someone who is in the place you were in before this message found you. They are carrying the same quiet ache. They are praying the same silent prayers. They need to hear that their tears became seeds too. When you share a word of this weight from a place of genuine recognition, you do not simply pass along content. You carry an anointing into the life of the person who receives it. And what you give away from a place of genuine love and recognition always returns to you multiplied. Your breakthrough grows as it spreads through you. Go to the comments one final time and write, "My miracle has arrived." Write it as the seal on this moment. Write it as the declaration of someone who was knocking on doors that stayed closed for a long time and who just heard the sound of every one of them unlocking at once. Write it as the person who stayed until the end, because something in them refused to give up on the word that was being delivered. Write it as the chosen one who is no longer waiting, because you are not waiting anymore. The delay is over. The silence is broken. The waiting has ended, and what comes next will speak louder than anything you have endured before. Lift your head, strengthen your heart, and walk forward with confidence. Heaven is walking with you, guiding you, surrounding you at every step. You are not alone. You never were. And now you will see the evidence of that truth in ways you never imagined. You are about to step across a threshold that you will not step back over. The old version of your life, the one defined by delay and longing and quiet wandering, that chapter has closed. What opens next is written in a language of abundance and clarity and answered prayers, and it belongs to you. Congratulations, my beloved. Your appointed hour is here. Your inheritance has been released. Your miracle is not on the way. It has arrived. Walk into it. It is yours. It has always been yours. And heaven has been waiting with extraordinary patience for the exact moment when you would finally, fully, completely believe it. That moment is now. Go forward in peace, chosen one. What feels different is real, and it is only the beginning.